Hello and welcome to my channel, Exceedingly Good Reviews. This is my thoughts on video, my thoughts on NXT UK from the November the 5th, 2020. NXT UK, it's very close to my heart. I've been enjoying the Heritage Cup tournament and there's more to come, the first of the semi-final matches in tonight's episode. So I'll give a quick run through of what occurred on the show, the results and whatnot, and then give you my overall thoughts on what I thought overall. So, the show opened up with a reminder of that brutal match from last week. The Ilya Dragunov Walter NXT UK Heavyweight Championship match. Wow. Seriously? What's my review from last week's NXT UK? This match was brutal. Redefine the word brutal, brutality, and everything there and thereabouts. This was an absolute epic. Jim Cornette apparently loved it. I would recommend you go check it out. So the show opens with highlights of that match. Wow. Still reminiscing about that match. That was a great match. So, we go into our first match of this night. It's Gallus. The Freeboys of Gallus are back together. Mark Coffey, Joe Coffey, and Wolfgang. Mark and Wolfgang, the NXT UK Tag Team Champions still. These three were taking on the team of Pretty Deadly and a returning Sam Gradwell. I can't recall seeing Sam Gradwell, but apparently he was from NXT UK originally. He's been out injured for 2 years or something like that with a serious knee injury. So that being the case, it's great that he's back, that he's back doing what he loves. And the guy looked awesome. He's got great physique, great look and everything. Didn't quite fit in, I don't think, with Pretty Deadly. Obviously, Pretty Deadly being two pretty boys, you know, high on fashion, whatnot, and Sam Gradwell really doesn't look. He looks grungy, looks, you know, just doesn't fit in with Pretty Deadly. But hey ho, he was with Pretty Deadly here. It was Pretty Deadly and Sam Gradwell taking on the Gallus boys. Great to see Gallus back together. This match, back and forth, Gallus controlling the early part of the match, but ended up Pretty Deadly impressing a lot in this match. Sam Gradwell showing his strength and his power that he's got. Like I said, he was a very big, intimidating man in this match. Pretty Deadly do impress, but ultimately Joe pins Sam to win the match. So Joe comes back with a win, Sam comes back with a loss. It's one of those things, unfortunately. But yeah, Mark and Wolfgang are in the ring to prevent Pretty Deadly from breaking up the pin, and they look like they want none of it. Okay, you know what? We've shown our skills, our talent. We've impressed enough that we feel we deserve an NXT UK Tag Team title shot. So, you know what? We're not going to mess with you now. You know, you get this pin. You win this match. You win today. You won the battle, but have you won the war? Live to fight another day, Pretty Deadly. So Pretty Deadly kind of walk off and leave him. We get a special look at tonight's semi-final match for the Heritage Cup. A-Kid taking on Noam Dar. These two have faced each other before, with Noam Dar picking up the victory. So will that play into tonight's match? Who knows? Psychological edge would seem to go with Noam Dar having the victory over A-Kid. We get Sid Scala showing Rampage Brown around the NXT UK training facility centre and whatnot, showing him around, introducing him to the trainers and whatnot, and leading him off to go sign his contract. So can't wait to see Rampage Brown in the NXT UK ring. That'll be really interesting, really fun to see. Second match of the night. Aaliyah James is already in the ring, and she is facing the fashionista Jeannie. Jeannie, who I thought was the next in line for the NXT UK Women's title. Remains to be seen whether that's the case. I don't think it will be. These two have a match. Jeannie pretty much dominates it. Aaliyah does get minimal bits of offense in here or there, and she does look quite good. She's got a good look to her. Seems quite athletic, quite mobile and whatnot. But Jeannie ultimately wins the match and immediately gets a mic and starts running her mouth off like you would expect. So she's saying that she wants... none of these other women are on her level and everything. Especially Piper Niven. The mention of Piper Niven's name immediately brings out Piper Niven. So she confronts Jeannie. These are then have to deal with Kaylee Ray, who comes out and she throws a chair in the ring and saying, Piper, I don't think you've got what it takes to win the title. Look what happened when we had our match for the title. You didn't take your opportunity when Kaylee Ray was down injured, so I don't think you've got it in you. Ginny ends up slapping Piper. Blah blah blah. Piper ends up attacking Ginny with the chair. Aaliyah tries to stop her. Aaliyah gets flattened. Piper ends up slamming Ginny onto the chair, and then Kaylee Ray seems scared. She's like, "Oh crap! I've awoken an absolute monster here." She tries to escape. Piper Niven's going after her. Okay. Eddie Dennis, little Eddie Dennis promo now. Eddie Dennis says, man has always had a bond with certain beasts. You look at dogs that do the work for man, like sheepdogs. Hunters use dogs to retrieve the killings, the prey and whatnot. And he's got his own beasts on his side, a primate and a wild boar, the hunt. That bond is there. So yeah, it is official. These three men are a faction. It looks like Eddie Dennis has the mental control of Primate and Wild Boar. So let's see what goes on there, how this progresses. It is announced that Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster are now on the injury list. Although I think that's more storyline wise than actually officially. We see backstage Piper Niven and Kaylee Ray are attacking each other. The referees end up separating them. Piper Niven poses with the NXT UK Women's title, and it's announced that these two will have, I think, a no disqualification match in 2 weeks' time. So that'll be interesting to see. I want them to pull the trigger on Piper Niven and give her the belt, but I've got a feeling they're going to keep it on Kaylee Ray for a while longer, unfortunately. Third match of the night is the Heritage Cup match. It's Noam Dar taking on A-Kid, the first of the semi-finals. Round one, very even. Dar with the momentum at the end of the round, but ultimately it's still very even, still 0-0. Second round, A-Kid has got an injury to his leg, it would seem, caused by Noam Dar. Will Noam Dar target it? You would assume so, but he doesn't seem to. I find it funny, Noam Dar keeps calling A-Kid a Pokemon. I don't know in reference to what, why. He doesn't look like a Pokemon, but hey ho, he does. Kid locks in a submission for the final few seconds of the second round, and it looks like Noam Dar might tap, but the timer runs out, so it's still 0-0. Saved by the bell there, Noam Dar. Third round, A-Kid submits to Noam Dar. Noam Dar locks in a submission, A-Kid taps, it's 1-0. He pretty much quickly taps because he knows, get this done and live to fight for the next round. So the fourth round, that was the third round. Fourth round, brutal kicks from Noam Dar to start the round, but A-Kid gets a pinfall halfway through the round. 1-1, one apiece. The fifth round, the action goes to the outside of the ring. It looks like they might get counted out at one point, but they didn't. I thought it was going to be like a double count out, and I was like, oh, how are they going to resolve this one? But they didn't. They ended up answering the call, so Dar goes and kisses the cup while they're on the outside. Ooh, you dastardly man. COVID-19 is going around in the world. Don't spread your germs like that. Keep that cup clean until the final. Almost gets counted out. Becomes a slugfest towards the end of the round. Both men exchanging blows. Bang, 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 bang. Great action. But the round ends. So we go to our sixth and final round. Remember, there's still one apiece here. It's 1-1. This is the sixth, the final round. Will we go to sudden death? Will we get a sudden death round? Who knows? Well, I know because I've got the results right here. Lots of pinning combinations in this one. Both men going for the pin quite rapidly and early on. Dar ends up submitting to A-Kid with 60 seconds left on the clock. He had a minute left. A-Kid wins the match 2-1. A-Kid progresses. We will find out who we will face next week, because next week is the other semi-final. It's Trent Seven against the Bomber Dave Mastiff. That will be an absolute belter, I have no doubt. My belt of the night, I've got to say, I want to give it to the Heritage Cup match because it was a great match, but I love to see Joe Coffey back. I like seeing the Gallus boys back to full strength. So my belt of the night has to be the opening match of the night, the six-man tag match. Gallus taking on Sam Gradwell and Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly impressed. Sam Gradwell, like I said, I can't remember his matches, but apparently he's been in NXT UK before. I think he might have been in the first tournament that they did, maybe. So yeah, he's got a great physique, a great look. And then you've got the Gallus boys. The Gallus boys, the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, and Joe Coffey. Great to see Joe Coffey back. It looks like he's lost a bit of weight in lockdown, and he's trimmed himself up and everything. So, these guys are looking great, and great to be back to full strength. Can't wait to see what they do with them. So yeah, that's my belt of the night. Overall, this was an okay show. The Heritage Cup match was a good match, and the opening match was a good match. The women's match, like I said, Jeannie pretty much dominated. It was basically like a squash match, basically. Aaliyah got very minimal offense in. And then there was a couple of other segments that occurred during the match. During the night, sorry. With like Eddie Dennis and the Hunt confirming that they're a team and whatnot. And the Piper Niven battling Kaylee Ray backstage. And, there's some bits that I think they could have done without. But overall, the show was an okay show. Good match. Okay. Good match. Overall, just give it an okay. This was an okay show. So yeah, those are my thoughts on NXT UK. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Like this video, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned for more content. Just one last thing. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. Stay classy.